Tonight, I want us to look at something very important that has a lot to do with technical drawing. So it's important you listen attentively and study everything that has to do with this video, because for you to have a good grade in technical drawing, what I'm about to share with you tonight, it has a lot to do with your performance and your grade in technical drawing. All right. First of all, I want to tell you that if you have not subscribed to this YouTube channel, it would be good if you can subscribe so that whenever I upload a new video, you will be notified. And then, as you know, that I've done a lot in this YouTube channel, which I believe will made you to know more in technical drawing. So it's very important to subscribe so that you can be notified whenever I upload a new video. Now, as you can see on the screen, what I want to share with you tonight or today is about Waec technical drawing scheme of examination. Waec technical drawing scheme of examination, how the papers will be presented to you and what you are expected to know before you sit for the paper. Let's go into it without wasting our time. As you can see on the screen, that the examination shall consist of 3 papers. Paper 1, 2, and 3, all of which must be taken. So you must take all the papers. You must take the 3 papers. Papers 1 and 2 shall be taken at one sitting. So that is paper 1 and 2 will come together as one, and you have to do the 2 together at once, at one sitting. Now, for paper 1 consists of 40 compulsory multiple choice objective questions, and each question carries 1 mark, and you have to spend 1 hour on that paper. You have to spend 1 hour on that paper, and paper 1 is divided into 2 sections. We have section A and section B. Now, for section A consists of 30 questions, question 1 to 30, on general principles and techniques or uses of planes and solid geometry aspect of the syllabus, as you can see on the screen. So question 1 to 30 are on general principles of everything that has to do with geometric drawing or geometry drawing. And paper 2, section B, that's section A. Section B is also divided into 2 parts. Section B is divided into 2 parts. So we have part 1, building drawing. And here you are going to have question 31 to 40, 10 questions on building drawing. And part 2 of section B is on mechanical drawing, and it contains 10 questions, question 31 to 40. So it depends on the one that you are taught in your school by your teacher. So if you have been taught building drawing, so you can choose to answer question 31 to 40 on building drawing. And if it's mechanical drawing that your teacher taught you, so you can choose to answer question 31 to 40 on mechanical drawing. So that is paper 1, 40 questions. Don't forget what I said, that question 1 to 30 has to do with, or have to do with, general principles and techniques, and this is of plain and solid geometry aspect of the syllabus, while question 31 to 40, part 1 is on building drawing, and part 2, 31 to 40 is on mechanical drawing. So you can choose anyone that you know, either building drawing or mechanical drawing. So take note of that. Now, we are done with paper 1. Let's look at paper 2. Now, as we have here that paper 2 shall consist of 5 essay questions on plane, solid, and vector geometry. So out of which you are expected to answer only 3 questions, and you have to spend 1 hour 45 minutes on it. 1 hour 45 minutes on it, and that will earn you 60 marks. You are able to answer 3 questions correctly, that will earn you 60 marks, and you have to spend 1 hour 45 minutes on that paper. So take note of that. That is paper 2. Now let's look at paper 3. Now, paper 3 consists of 2 sections. We have section A and we have section B, and you have to spend 2 hours 45 minutes on it, and that will earn you 100 marks. 100 marks. Okay. Now, section A consists of a compulsory question, and that question has to do with the sketching of isometric objects. So you'll be given orthographic views of an object, and then you'll be asked to transform it to isometric drawing or isometric view. Then you'll also be asked to sketch an object which can be a component of a machine, or it can be a symbol of a particular object or a tool. So that tool that you'll be asked to draw or to sketch can be a building tool or mechanical tool. So that will earn you the total of that for the sketching. So for the one that is compulsory, which is for the transformation of orthographic views of an object to isometric view, carries 20 marks. That's compulsory, 20 marks. So, and for the tool, which can be building tool or mechanical tool, that is 10 marks. So the total marks for that is 30 marks, and you have to spend 45 minutes on that. 45 minutes on that. Now, that's on section A. Section B now consists of 2 questions. One on building drawing and the other on mechanical drawing. So you have to answer one. It's either you answer building drawing if that is what you were taught, or you answer mechanical drawing if that is what you were taught. And each of them carries 70 marks. So you have to spend 2 hours on that. So for paper 3, the total marks is 100 marks, as I've said, 30 marks for the sketching, and 70 marks for either you answer building drawing or you answer mechanical drawing. So that is 100 marks. So paper 1 is 40 marks. Paper 2 is 60 marks. So the total marks that you're expected to work on here is 200 marks. So Waec will grade you based on whatever you get. I believe you understand what I said here now. Now, the most important part of what I want to discuss with you tonight is on detailed syllabus, Waec syllabus. What the topics that you are expected to work on before you get to SS3. Even when you get to SS3, there are topics that you still be taught that you are expected to work on very, very well. Now, the most there is no part of this syllabus that is not important. that is not important. So every part of it is very, very important. And as a teacher, I usually tell my students that I don't know where the question will come from when it comes to geometrical drawing, which is the essay that is on paper 2. So I usually tell my students to work very, very well on that particular part. And I usually try as much as possible to give them whatever they need on that part, on geometrical drawing, which is the essay paper 2, because I don't know where the question will come from. Though I know the topics, but I don't know where Waec is going to set the question, or what that particular topic that Waec is going to set question on. Okay, now for the detailed syllabus, we are looking at plane geometry. For the plane geometry, we have the content, and then we have the notes. Those are the things that you need to pay attention to. So under the content, we have drawing materials and equipment, types of drawing materials and types of drawing instruments, and type of and the applications So drawing materials and equipment or instruments, and the types of drawing, and also the application. So for the notes, so we talk about the standard size of drawing paper and drawing board, and then we talk about set squares and their uses, and we talk about T-square and its uses or its use, and also protractor and their uses. With other instruments, we talk about them, and also drawing materials, talk about them over there. Now, number 2 is on lines, lettering, and dimensioning. So here we talk about, or you're expected to know the types of lines and the uses or use of each of them. Use of each of them. You're expected to know that. And then we talk about types and styles of lettering. We talk about title block and border lines. And then we taught how to construct title block and how to draw border lines. So we'll be taught over there. Then number 3, division of lines and its applications. So how you can divide a line into a number of equal parts, how you can divide a line into a given proportion. So you'll be taught. And number 4, we talk about scales and their uses. So we have plane scale, we have diagonal scale, we have scale of curves. So you'll be taught the construction of plane scale, construction of diagonal scale, construction of scale of curve, and their applications. Then number 5, talk about the angles. So definition of angle, types of angle, and the construction of angles, probably with the use of set squares, with the use of protractor, construction of angles with the use of compass. Very, very important. You have to pay attention to the construction of angles with the use of a pair of compasses. You must know that. How you can construct angle 7.5 degree, angle 15 degree, angle 30 degree, angle 22.5 degree, angle 45 degree, angle 90, angle 60, 75, angle 105, angle 135, 150, 120, and so on. You need to pay attention to how you can construct that, and you need to practice. Very, very important. Now, number 6, talk about construction of triangles, collaterals, and polygons. So there you'll be taught how you can construct regular and irregular polygons, and then the properties of angles, properties of collaterals, and properties of polygons and their constructions will be taught over there. Then circles. Circles is another topic that you also need to pay attention to. Then you'll be taught parts of circles, types of circles, and properties and the construction of circles. So for circles, we have types of circles. We have concentric circles, eccentric circles, we have ascribed circles, we have inscribed circles, and we have circumscribed circles. So we taught that, and also part of circles and properties of circles, we taught that. Then number 8 is tangents and tangency. tangent and tangency. Then you'll be taught definition of a tangent and how you can construct a tangent to two equal circles. That is internal tangent to two equal circles, external tangent to two equal circles, internal and external tangent to two unequal circles. And then you'll be taught the principles of tangency, how you can apply the principle of tangents to construct spanner, to construct electric bulb, to construct blade, and so on. You'll be taught there. To construct hook, you'll be taught there. Then, number 9, inscribed, circumscribed, and inscribed figures. So, definitions of inscribed circle, so the definition of circumscribed and the definition of inscribed circle, how you can construct them, will be taught over the then. Similar figures and areas. So, enlargement and reduction by area and also by the side of a plane or plane figures. Then we come to loci. Under loci, that topic is very, very broad. It's very, very broad. So it's not a topic that you can teach. Within 2 weeks. So it's a topic that's very, very broad. And for example, for the construction of ellipse, we have about 4 to 5 methods that can be used to construct an ellipse. So, except if a teacher does not consider the technicality of the methods of the construction of this loci that I want to talk about. Now, for the loci, you'll be given a definition of each of the curve. Okay, so construction of straight line, construction of circle, ellipse, parabola, hyperbola, helix, trochoid. We have types of trochoid, inferior and superior trochoid, spiral, cycloid, hypocycloid, involutes, and link mechanisms. So those are the things that will be taught under loci. You need to pay attention to each of them. How you can construct each of them, you need to pay attention to that. So that's on plane geometry. Now we come to solid geometry. Solid geometry. Under solid geometry, we taught lines in space and planes. Lines in space and planes. How you can locate a point in and lines in space. How you can draw the true length and also angle of inclination. How you can find the angle of inclination of a line, how you can find the true length of a line, and those are the things, and how you can find the traces of a line, both vertical and horizontal traces of a given line. Then, number 13, we have pictorial drawing. Under the pictorial drawing, we taught how you can construct isometric objects. How you can construct isometric objects, how you can construct isometric circle, isometric curves, and also there you be taught oblique drawing and also perspective drawing. So oblique drawing and perspective drawing, you be taught the types of oblique drawing, cavalier and cabinet oblique drawing. You be taught over there. Then next is orthographic projection. Orthographic projection. So types of orthographic projection, we have the first angle projection and third angle projection. So the differences between the two will be taught. And how you can position the front view, the top view, and the end view of a given object in orthographic form will be taught. Then auxiliary projections. So definition of auxiliary projections will be given, the types of auxiliary projection will be given, and how you can produce the auxiliary view of prisms, cones, cylinders, cube, pyramid, and so on will be taught over there. Then sectional views and true shapes. Very, very important. Sectional views and true shapes. True shape of sections of prisms, cylinders, pyramids, and cones, ellipse, parabola, hyperbola, circle, and triangle will be taught under this topic. Then development of surfaces. how you can develop the surface of a given object, like prisms, pyramids, cylinders, cones, and truncated parts of frustum, and also transition pieces. So I think for the senior secondary school level, you are not to work much on transition pieces. So, so just work very well on how you can develop a cylinder, how you can develop a prism, cones, and also truncated and frustum of each of the objects that I mentioned. So the next one is intersection or interpenetration of solids. So how you can find the curve or the line of intersection of two solids that penetrate each other, like cylinders, cones, prisms, and pyramids, and so on. So how you can find the line of intersection and also or the curve of intersection of those objects when they intersect each other. Then the next is symbols and conventions used in plane and solid geometry. Very, very important. You need to be able to identify the symbols. How you can identify them, and also try as much as possible to sketch them. How you can sketch them, you need to work on that too. Then forces, coplanar, concurrent, and parallel forces. For Nigerian candidates, you are not to bother yourself with this. These are for students in Ghana, students in Gambia. So these ones are for them. So 20, 21, 22, 23, so they are not for you. Let's look at what we have here. I think there is a note. Note, vector geometry is for candidates in Ghana only, okay? So I didn't mention Gambia. So Gambia is excluded. So only candidates in Ghana are the one to work on from 20, 21, 22, 23. So you are not to bother yourself on that. Even I don't teach that. I don't teach that. And I believe that your teacher in school, the technical drawing in school, teacher in school will not teach you that. So you don't have to worry yourself with that. Even it will be stated in the paper, that's on paper 2. So all that we have done on both the plane geometry and solid or solid geometry, they are for paper 2 and also for paper 1. So paper 2 and paper 1 questions will come from both the plane geometry and solid geometry. So pay attention to that. So you need to work very well on plane geometry and solid geometry, because you cannot predict where the question will come from on those two. But for paper 3, let's look at paper 3 now. Now, so paper 3, as I've said, it consists of freehand sketching and building drawing and mechanical drawing. So now let's look at what we have for building drawing, which on paper 3. So number 1 is freehand sketching and identification of building tools. So freehand sketching and identification of building tools are both pictorial and orthographic sketches of building tools. So you must be able to do that, and also foundations and floors. So you must be able to types of foundation and parts of foundation, types of floors and floor finishes. You need to pay attention to that. And also, number 3 is openings. Openings, we're talking about windows, doors, and hatches. So types and parts of doors, windows, and hatches. So you need to work on that. You need to learn that very well. And the next is stairs and staircases. Parts of stairs and staircases and types of staircases. You need to pay attention to that. Then roofs. Roofs. Types and parts of roofs. Very, very important. So you need to learn everything that has to do with roofs, types of roofs, and also the parts of roofs. So you need to pay attention to that, study that very well. You should be able to identify each part. And then the next is, so next thing is constructional details of buildings. Constructional details of buildings, so including the wall, the column, beam, lintel, and so on. So you must be able to identify those things. And next is working drawings of buildings. Working drawings of buildings. So how you can produce the orthographic views of the plan, how you can convert the line plan to solid plan. So you need to learn that. And the construction of front elevation of the building, you must be able to do that. And also this, how you can construct the sectional view of the building. So you need to learn that very well. Then the next thing is building materials, freehand sketching, symbols, and conventions. So it includes electrical and plumbing fittings. You must be able to identify those things and be able to sketch those things mentioned under that. So part of the part 3 is mechanical drawing. Part of the part 3 is mechanical drawing. So what we have here is mechanical drawing. Look at it very well. So for the mechanical drawing, so freehand sketching and application of mechanical tools. So both pictorial and photographic sketches of mechanical tools. Dimensioning. So dimensioning, you need to learn dimensioning. So most especially chain dimension of my dimensioning and datum dimension. You need to pay attention to that. You must be able to identify or know the difference between the chain dimensioning and also the datum dimension. You must be able to identify them and differentiate between them. Then screw threads, fasteners, and locking devices. So very, very important. You must be able to identify the conventional symbols, the construction and the applications of the threads, types of threads. You need to know that use of threads, fasteners. You must be able to know that. Then locking devices. So you need to pay attention to the types of locking devices. You have the positive and frictional locking devices. So you need to know the types of our examples of positive locking devices and frictional locking devices. Must be able to state examples of each of them. Then sectioning. So what do we mean by sectioning? Types of sectioning: full section, half section, offset, broken, removed, aligned, and revolved. So you must be able to know that. And part not to section 2, you need to know that. You'll be taught by your teachers, and I will still work on those things too. Then pictorial drawing. So isometric and oblique drawing, including freehand sketching, and working as an assembly drawing. So orthographic and sectional view, symbols, conventions, and abbreviations, including electrical and plumbing fittings and welding symbols. So those things, you must be able to identify them, and also you must be able to sketch them. So all these are the things that you need to work on before you get to SS3. Even when you get to SS3, you still need to revise them, most especially the plane geometry and solid geometry questions that you cannot predict where the question or the topic that question will be taken from. So you need to work very much on that, both plane geometry and solid geometry. Then very, very important, list of recommended textbooks. List of recommended textbooks, technical drawing for senior certificates and GCE. So the author is J.N. Green and publisher Spectrum Books. Then engineering drawing with work example. We have author to be M.A. Parker and F. Peacock. So the author, the publisher is Lessing Tons Limited. Then geometric and engineering drawing, so by K. Molly. So you also need to get that. So you need to get that, or you can download it. I think I downloaded the one I'm using. I have it on my laptop, I have it on my phone. So you can download that. You don't have to look for the hard copy of that. Just go online and search for it to get it. And so we also have geometric and technical drawing, so by A. Yahoo, and the author is ELBS with nursing. We have Foundation of Technical Drawing by Paxson. So technical drawing with mechanical engineering drawing option. So just go get one or two of those textbooks. So maybe you can get one for most especially gay angling is very, very important. That's the first one that I mentioned is very, very important. So get another one that has to do with mechanical and building drawing. So use those stuff, those textbooks very well. So don't just put them aside and without use. So use them, practice, practice, and practice. And as you know that practice makes perfect. So you need to do that when it comes to this topic. So thank you for listening. Watch this video again and again and again. Make sure you pay attention to all that I mentioned and subscribe to my YouTube channel if you have not subscribed. Thank you for listening. God bless you.